Hey skiers, it's Bob with Skiessentials.com. Welcome to our 2022 ski test. We got a Fischer RC One 86 GT for you today. One of the most stable and damp carvers we've seen come through here in a while, even at this width. So it is in that wide carving, wide front side ski category. And while we would put some narrower skis in the all mountain category, this one has the shape and construction to definitely leave it in front side, but does have that all mountain capability. So it definitely blurs the line. From a construction perspective, it's definitely more of that front side build though. We got a wood core, 2 sheets of metal. We have the thicker metal, the 0.7 millimeter metal. So it does make this ski quite a bit heavier, more damp and stable. They don't run that top sheet of thick metal all the way through. So they do taper it in the tips and in the tails, leaving a central cord still intact. But the tips and tails do get the Baffatex material, which is found in high-end sails. So it does take a little bit of the weight and the power out of the very ends of the skis, which isn't a bad thing considering how hefty these things are. If they kept that thick metal running, the full span of the ski, it would be pretty prohibitive. So they've made it a little bit more maneuverable and agile thanks to this Baffatex material. And it really does a good job of making it more accessible to a wider range of skiers without removing that top end of performance, which is what this thing is really all about. This is the 175. This one generates a 17-meter turn radius at 86 millimeters underfoot. They do have their triple radius in here, so there is a variable in terms of where you're putting pressure on the ski as to how it's going to turn. So it does put more emphasis on the skier and their desire to make a longer or a shorter turn. But it's a very intuitive way. So if you want to open it up, just stay right in the middle of the ski. And if you want to close it up, ski more to the tail, you get more of a slalom style turn. Really nice way of building a ski for sure. In terms of that the rocker and taper shape, we still get some nice positive camber underfoot. Even for how heavy this thing is, we see some pretty good snap and bounce coming out of it. And then they line up the tip rocker pretty well with where that metal starts to taper in. So that gives you a little bit more of it compounds with that Baffatex material to make the ski easier to initiate without taking any power or strength away from the underfoot and mid body of the ski. Also, when you're getting up this wide, it is nice to have that width and a little bit of that rocker for when the snow does get soft. We're not going to be on firm icy snow 100% of the time with this ski. It does want to be in more of an all-mountain format from time to time, so that helps for sure. And then we see a similar thing in the tail. The rocker is a little bit more pronounced than the narrower versions, but still pretty minimal splay back here. Just enough rocker to help you release from the turn. Again, if that was that full thick metal from end to end, side to side, tip to tail, this would be a lot more abusive of a tail. So as it is now, a little bit friendlier, more accessible, lets you release. But still that flat tail with the metal at the back, pretty business-like back there. So you're going to get, quite a bit of response. You do have to be on this thing, mostly due to the weight and the shape. So we're kind of, having this one be more in that advanced to expert category. Just because of the demand the ski requires. It does feel like there's some substantial material on your foot. So when you're sitting on the chairlift, you can definitely tell when your feet are hanging that there's some metal to this ski for sure. It translates directly to the performance in terms of stability and dampness. So there is a flip side to that coin. As those skis get heavier with that metal, they also get more stable at speed. And this is a prime example of that. But they do a great job of keeping those ends a little bit lighter and more maneuverable for when you need to make a quicker turn or be more agile. So it's a nice blend. So that's it. That is the Fischer RC One 86 GT. Great wider front side ski / narrower all mountain ski, whichever way you want to put it. But just super strong, stable, and a ton of fun. Check this thing out at Skiessentials.com, and we'll see you out there on the hill. Bye.